From Ghana, change agent of the World YMCA.
What you are witnessing tonight is a collection of irrefutable evidence of the devastating impact of the climate crisis. I hope that this imagery will last in your memory, and I also sincerely hope that you carry these reflections with you back home for action.
My name is Cedric Dzelu. I happen to be the Global Ambassador for the World YMCA. I am responsible for advancing the cause of young people, known as Youth-Led Solution, in addressing the climate crisis in their communities. I also happen to be the Executive Director for the Hope Performance Tennis, a not-for-profit with the sole mandate of empowering young people through the game of tennis.
I come here every morning to exercise, and anytime I come here, it reminds me of the sad reality of the health of the ocean and our beaches. I mean, look at this great and beautiful beach. Its beauty is overshadowed by the waste we find ourselves. Look at this beautiful ocean that is contaminated, polluted with this sort of waste. And anytime I come here to exercise, it reminds me and it calls me to duty.
The climate change situation in Africa is a very devastating one. I mean, across the continent, we have seen evidence of how the climate crisis is negatively impacting people. We have come face to face with situations of drought, where food security is being threatened. We have seen situations where flooding has displaced communities. We have examples from Kita, where tidal waves displaced communities and young people, women, girls, and their family were completely, displaced. So, truly speaking, climate change is causing so much havoc. From where I sit, I think that we are on a ticking time bomb. It is just a matter of time. If no action is taken, we will be talking about something that we cannot even contain. If I look at what we are facing, the first thing I would like to call on is education. The level of awareness of this crisis needs to be intense. We need to make sure that almost everybody is aware or well informed about the scale of the problem that is at hand. Because I think that it is when people are fully aware, that is where we'll be able to receive more innovations and plans in terms of what we can do as a people in addressing the crisis. To this effect, I have engaged ministers of state, I have engaged members of parliament, I am engaging assemblymen, I am engaging unit committee members, opinion leaders in the communities that I find myself in and that I am able to have access to, so that I'll be able to contribute to the community response approach in terms of addressing the crisis. I'm also committed in speaking to headmasters, headmistresses, the Ghana Education Service, so that I'll be able to go to the schools and speak to young people in the schools from as low as the basic level to the junior secondary school and to the universities, because I believe that the educational system is one of the fine platforms that one can use to convey the message.
Yeah, this one. And I also think that sportsmen have the ability to mobilize their funds and mobilize resources to address the climate change crisis.
I have been asked that, Cedric, how do you connect sports and climate change? What does tennis got to do with climate change? And I think that is a very important question, because sometimes when we talk about this important subject, there's a disconnect. The climate crisis is threatening play and sports. The extent to which, because of flood, young people are not able to play. Because of melting glaciers and ice, eye sports is threatened because of extreme heat. Young people and sportsmen are not able to play sports that are not favorable under extreme heat conditions. And so, as someone who is into sports and to climate change, I'm very much concerned about using the power of sports to, first of all, communicate this message, to mobilize resources, and to be able to come up with solutions to address the climate crisis from a sports point of view.
Charlie, welcome.
Oh, Charlie, thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Charlie,
Oh, Charlie, everything.
oh, climate change, like how the things go in Glasgow, the time over there and stuff.
Charlie, in my label. It's on your come. Quoi? First of all, Glasgow, Charlie, Fenye Glasgow, in my label.
Wow.
You know if you're being a Fenye. She confessed that Charlie Boliake confessed because Charlie, see, I go meetings, I go conferences, I go play workshops, but this one it be different.
Sure.
It be different in terms of attendance, participation, input. This is the vim of the participant. Many abani Charlie abake abanaba make input the agency or not agency. Oh Charlie, imalibo. Ba question no man repu ni ken ba ma fe now one so ma fe seminar two ma fe ma meet high profile women ni ma raise awareness community program go don che we assembly me
I know, right?
okay me unit committee or je mesena ba na ka fe program no bota kuchu me okay ma you can be yeah because impact is huge sure you feel comfortable oh jele me ji wo wotun the word is our room so if you dey house where the off light, air condition is off, fan is off, and the room is getting warmer and warmer. According to all of you, you don't feel comfortable. Sure. The same way, if the earth temperature is rising, what happens is that you don't feel comfortable. Yeah. Cheers. They never do.
Some of us who have been an avid dancers have come here many times expecting to dance, only to go home because we experience extreme heat, and that to a very large extent defeats the purpose of coming. All of that is as a result of climate change. So it is important that if we come together here at Afikliko, we concern ourselves with such a topic, and at our tables discuss some of these matters and see how we can work together to address the climate change or the climate crisis. So I bring you warm greetings from Glasgow, and I will give you a dance just to celebrate you and then to also advocate for climate change.
This question is so dear to me. Is the environment the only victim of all this?
The environment is not the victim of climate change.
Wow.
It is us, the humans. We, those living on the planet, we are the victim of climate change.